Alright, it's about 8 o'clock. By 6 o'clock we had a blue patch over us and it was completely past. Now it's coming back for the second round. What?
Do you have a cell phone? Yeah. Do you need to charge it up in here?
If I bring the bike in, I can... actually, yeah, I probably will. Yeah. Okay. It's coming. Alright, current view from inside the game room. We had ice cream laid out here briefly. That was wonderful. Man, did I pick the right spot to come? $3.50 and 3 kinds of ice cream. And they have ice cream in like 2-gallon, 3-gallon buckets, like, you know, what you would see at Baskin Robbins probably, like the big buckets. Yeah, that's awesome. So, made out pretty good. And then they said hail was coming, and the one lady said hail the size of your hand. I'm like, oh, that's not messing around. So there's several of us that were in tents, including a couple guys on motorcycles that are going to be sleeping in here also. So I got there's the corner of my cot behind the wall here, and there's an aisle here and an aisle there, so we got room for a few people in here if we need it. So for anybody that was wondering what am I going to do in a hailstorm, yeah, I guess we made out. My plan still would have been valid though. But as soon as I saw there was thunderstorms, I'm like, hail is always a possibility. I wasn't even really thinking specifically of hail, but thunderstorm out in the open like this, that's why I was focused on getting under that underpass or overpass or whatever it was. I'm like, yeah, I'll just go be there, you know. Oh, I don't know if the camera saw that, but right across the window some trash just went flying by about 20 miles an hour. So yeah, it's gonna be dicey outside, but we should be happy in here. Also, hit me up in the comments if you think I should do this to the inside of my house, because I've been thinking pine boards would be one option. I'd probably do them horizontally as opposed to these are vertically. Now if you're my brother Kevin, you would do them, what did we do in his house? Well, I can't say I helped. I got in the way and I screwed up a few cuts, and then I was banned from ever using the chop saw again. But he did one or two walls diagonally. I think he did like 30 degrees, and then his living room he did a starburst pattern, which was just awesome. And he's not living in that trailer anymore. He did this in a trailer he was renovating, but he does really good work. So Kevin, if you happen to see this, yeah, that was a pretty neat setup that you made in there. That was pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, I've been thinking pine board would be one option if I ever do finish the inside of my house. If I ever live at home again. Anyway, that's it for now. This will go on tomorrow's video. Oh, we even got air conditioning going up there. I think we'll shut that off. It's going to be too cold in here. But yeah, anyway. Alright, hey, my name is Carlin. Thanks for watching my video. I always forget to say all these things at the end of the video, and I think most people don't watch to the end, so let me just knock this out really quick in the beginning and we'll get on with the show. Cool? Right. I'm working on lighting here too. So, apparently there's about 22 military veterans committing suicide every day. What I'm doing this ride for is to try to bring awareness to the problem and to reach out to people who know veterans or to reach out to veterans directly, and first just help them to realize that this isn't the best option, that there's better ways to do this, and that they still matter and we care about them. All right. I know when I got out of the military, it was kind of a rocky start for me. I was so used to how things were. You get out, everything is upside down and it's very chaotic and not a smooth transition sometimes. So I had a lot of empathy for what's going on. If you wanted to help me personally on my ride, my main source of income is through these videos. So you can, if you watch the videos to the end, that helps me because YouTube will recommend the videos if people seem to watch them. If you like the video, go ahead and click the like. If you wanted to help me through donations, below the video there's like the thumbs up button, and near that is a heart. You can click on the heart and choose how much you want to donate. It can be a small or a large donation. That's one time only. Also, if you would, please subscribe to the videos so that you see the new ones coming out. I don't get paid directly for subscribers, but it does show that I have engagement with the people. Again, sorry about the backlighting. Finally, if you want to help me through things like PayPal, look in the video description below the video, or I'll put it up on screen here. There's a link, and I've got a website. You can go check that out. It's got links to everything. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and on with the show. From here on, most of the videos are just day-to-day travel log about the ride. I'm shooting this in Montana. I've already gone through 10 or 11 or 12 states already. I'm on the way back to Texas, and then I'm planning on rebuilding and going out to pick up the last 10 states so we get all 22. So that's the plan. I could really use your support, and if you know any veterans, reach out to them and tell them that they still matter, ask how they're doing, and don't take the short answer. And if you want, you sit down and talk to them. Cool. All right, on with the show. All right, we survived the night. Some lingering clouds. It is definitely humid out here, but it's supposed to be slight chance of rain all day today. Very, very little accumulation. So we'll see how that turns out. But get the bike back out in the sun, getting it topped off. I already had 51 volts or something from last night, so I'm just gonna let it take advantage of the sun while we're here. I replaced the tire or I guess it was the other side. Had a flat when I came into camp, so I didn't even mess with it until this morning. So I put a new tube on, or a good tube. Yeah, and over there on that table, I'm going to work on patching I got 4 tubes to patch again. Yeah, just seriously. Anyway, never ends. I guess that's part of the fun. It's 8 o'clock now. I'll probably be out of here by 9. And I've got about 80 miles to get to Wyoming, so I don't know if I can make it today or not, but we'll work in that direction. All right, about 9:30 in the morning. Getting ready to leave Hardin. This is the zoomed way in. That's the back of a hardware store. So I've got 2 things of tire slime, 2 new tubes for the size of tire, a utility wheel that I can pop the bearings out of to steal for these because they're making a lot of noise again. They didn't have any bearings in stock, but they did have at least a wheel, so I got 1 more wheel. Yeah, and whatever else. 2 tubes, 2 slimes, and a spare wheel. I think that was it. I'm not even looking at receipts anymore as about how much I spent, but forward and onward, right? Oh good, I can get out this way. Okay, here we go. I think I'm about 15 miles from state line to go into Wyoming from Montana. We are still on tribal land. I think we're still on the Crow Nation. I stopped a few miles back and bought a couple of Cokes at a little store at one of the little towns. Pretty country. At the moment, really no wind at all. I'm getting some haze and some overcast from the clouds, so that's cutting into solar a bit. I'm not going super fast. We are slowly climbing up a hill. I think I have about another 10 miles left in the hill, so pretty close to state line. I think we'll come over the top. I haven't exactly figured that out precisely, but close enough. It is super muggy from the rain that was yesterday, so it's just but not too hot. I think it's in the 80s, just muggy. And you really notice it because, you know, I took a shower yesterday. It's like, I can't even be clean for a day. So, trying to save some battery, but we'll just get there when we get there, I guess. I'm going to at least cross into Wyoming before I stop, and then I'll start looking for a place. Might end up wild camping. I don't think I can make it into the next town or anything like that. So, yeah, just a pretty day. Lots of big fluffy clouds. Most of today the clouds have been on the horizon, but haven't really been a factor. Really low percentage chance of rain. So, just kind of moseying on down the road. Yep. Oh, this morning I was riding along and I kept thinking, man, I should be getting more solar by now. Right? I finally stopped and went back and looked, and when I was loading something a while ago, I guess I'd unplugged one of the solar panels, so then it jumped up like it should have. So I lost a couple hours of one of the panels, but first thing in the morning you don't get very much anyway, so it wasn't really obvious. So at least I figured it out. Alright, mosey on down the road. Okay, so that says, in case you can't read it, leaving Crow Country. We are within a mile or so of Wyoming. It is just gorgeous out here. But just as it would turn out, I had to climb up. I went down a hill and up a hill and down a hill and up a hill. Like, seriously, I don't want to do that hill anymore. My plan is, when I cross the state line, find a bush and camp, kind of thing. Now that I'm off of tribal land, it's one less layer of diplomatic issues to deal with, I guess. That tree right there looks really, really promising. I don't think we're quite across the line. I think we'll go over one more hill. I do want to see the sign that says Wyoming, and my GPS shows a line that I'm assuming is the state line, so. Clouds haven't been a real problem. I'm just on the edge of haze, but it's generally staying pretty clear. I got just the smallest tailwind, but it's not really a factor. I got pretty sweaty coming up the hill, but now that I got that tailwind, it feels nice again, so yeah. Okay, catch my breath. At the moment, I'm still getting 90 watts of solar, so I did pull the battery down, but if I can park here pretty soon and then disconnect the trailer and aim it at the sun and get a couple good hours to charge, we'll be in good shape for tomorrow. It's about 30 miles to the first main town in Wyoming, which is Sheridan, or something like Sheridan, I think. I had it in my mind once and forgot it already, but I think that's what it was. Side note, these grips I'm liking. I just stopped about a mile or two ago and adjusted them, worked on the angle a little bit. I think I got it better. It's just, I don't know if you ever, they got kind of a blob coming out the back like a profile, so when you put your hand on it, it's kind of a palm rest. And tweaking the angle did seem to make a difference. I went up too far, that wasn't any good, so I went back about half, and that seemed about right. So, in a sense, you know, it's like I keep reminding myself, it's like, well, if something bugs me, stop and fix it, right? Alright, here we go. Alright, Wyoming sign, GPS concurs, basically state line. As it turns out, this is just weird. State line, mailbox, probably a house. Alright. Back that way about a couple hundred yards was a road approach that looked livable. I see a lot more houses this way than I saw behind me. So I'm basically at the high point of the hill, but it's going to be a few more ups and downs. And the sooner I park, the more I can start charging. So I think I'm going to backtrack a quarter of a mile. Yeah, just another beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's about 6:30 in the evening. Sun is up there. Probably sundown by 8:30, I guess. Just going to hang out here. And kind of parked up closer to the road because I think I got better sun. I'm still getting a little bit of charge, but not much with the clouds and the angle and everything. We're getting a little bit, so I'm just going to leave it as long as I can. And I think what I'm going to do is, as it gets closer to dark, I'll just push it down more towards the fence line. Because as it gets dark, the further off the road I am, the less people are going to see me in their headlights. Up here I can just, chill out, but no big deal. But if I'm back there a little bit, then I'll be less visible. Plus, with these tall weeds, I'll be like camouflaged. It'll be perfect. So, anyway, I think that's it for tonight. Wait for the next car to go by. Bye, car, truck. person in a cage. Sucker. Anywho, yeah, I had a bagel, I had a can of chunky soup. Somewhere I got a package of cookies. I think I can see them. I might have some of those later. The neighbor is just over the hill here, and I keep hearing either gunshots or like a bird scare cannon or whatever, just randomly, but I should check the time and see if it's on a timer. I didn't hear it the first little while when I got here, so just randomly. It's either a door slamming, but it sounds more like a, not like a gunshot, but maybe a pop gun. So either that means they've got a lot of birds around, or they're not actually there and they're scaring everything else away, or maybe just randomly shooting at somebody. Yeah, wonderful. America. Anyway, I figured out miles to home. The route that I'm looking at now, it's closer to 1,300 now. I'd said about 1,200 yesterday, so it's not like I'm going any further away, but what I was looking at, and this will probably get a little bit longer yet because like today I stayed off, I forgot to add up my miles today. I rode 38 miles off of the highway, or off of the freeway, because I'm looking at mile marker 38, and there was a 2-lane road that I got onto. Kind of runs parallel to I-90. And it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, you got to look ahead far enough on the map to make sure, one, the road does go somewhere and doesn't just dead end, and two, that it gets back onto the freeway if you decide you want to get back on again. So this one did for all of today, so that was good. I don't know, it's traffic is going slower. There's less traffic, but there's no shoulder at all. All right, but there was very few trucks, semis, like almost none. So I had way less tire debris on the road, and I don't think I got any flats today at all. When I was leaving the last town, Hardin, where I left the campsite today, there was a hardware store. So I bought one more of those little wheels just to take the bearings out of, which is just ridiculous. But they didn't have any of the bearings in stock either. Those bearings are available in some Ace Hardwares, but none of the ones I've actually looked at. So you see them on the website, but they don't seem to be in stock. So I gotta keep remembering to look for those. And the bearings aren't a perfect fit for the wheels, but they go in and they basically stay there. So it's like, all right, I'm just hoping I can keep the wheels running long enough to get home. That's kind of my goal. And I was like, don't have the wheels fall off. Because once I get there, it's like, okay, this trailer will get pushed back, into the scrap pile or something like that. I don't know, I don't think it's good enough to run on my gravel road, and so when I'm at home, I don't think it'd be very useful. Another bang. The wheels are just too small for gravel, I think. So, I thought about modifying it, and I don't know that it's really good enough even as a starting point. So I'm kind of torn on that. However, if I radically reduce the load on the trailer, it might be good enough for the next trip. So I'm going to make some cargo racks for the bike, move some of the heavier stuff onto the bike, things like the batteries and the tools, we've talked about that a bunch, get rid of a bunch of stuff that doesn't belong on here. And another thought that I had a couple nights ago, the bike has 700 size wheels. They're just bigger than 26, so just leave it at that for now. But I've got a spare wheel for the bike that's also a 700. So if I ever had to take the motor off, I could put the regular wheel back on, was the idea. So I've got one spare wheel of a 700. What I'm thinking is, it's not super expensive to go buy another spare wheel. So if I had, I've got one already. If I buy a second one, set the next trailer up with 700s, which is a little bit overkill for a trailer, but they would sure roll easier. And if I can do that, then I'd have the same size tire on the bike and the trailer again, which would be wonderful. Then I could just have, one size of tube and one size of tire, and I could run my old tires on the trailer you know, if I wanted to. Or if I get a good deal on new tires, like, well, it's like, and yeah, Walmart has those tires in stock now. So, you know, that might actually be a possibility. Oh, and the blue bike has 700s on it. So I could borrow the tires off of the blue bike, right? Because I got them and they're going to be just sitting there while I'm gone. So that would be a practical solution, actually. I completely forgot about the blue bike. So that means I do have enough wheels already. Yay! So that might be an idea. So build the trailer with the 700 wheels in mind. And if I can set them up with quick release even, man, would that be nice? If I have a flat tire, just pop the quick release and just pop it out, pop it on there, good to go. That would be pretty slick. So that's a possibility. You know, if you're going to start over anyway, kind of thing. And the other change was to move the tires way back, because right now the tires are in the middle and it balances, which seems like a good idea, except it starts porpoising. So if I could push the tires back, then it would have a little bit more weight to the front and it would ride a lot more stable. Yeah, anyway, I think that's it for that. Yeah, just kind of get all this straight in my head, so when I get home I have a plan when I get there. So, because I know it's going to be tempting. Well, it's like I'll get home and I'll get about 400 things to do at home, and then I'll get mad and I want to hit the road, and then I'll look at the bike and it's not ready yet. So, yeah, try to come up with a working plan. And it's like, if I'm a week from home, I could start ordering parts. So, you know, go on eBay or go on Amazon and pick up 2 more wheels or something like that. And then I'd be ready. Oh, and also, if I had wheels that were disc brake compatible, I've got extra disc brake parts already. So I could actually put brakes on the trailer, which would be really cool. And the last part of that, a parking brake or a locking parking brake would be the coolest thing ever. You know, so there's times where if I just want the bike to sit still, if I could flick a lever and set the parking brake, you know, like when I'm changing tires and stuff like that, I'll be lifting up the trailer and knock the bike over, and a lot of times if the brake was set, it wouldn't do that, so that would be a huge advantage. Plus, as a security thing, it's like the bike is just awkward enough, it would be difficult unless you had 2 or 3 people to pick everything up and just carry it, you know, because if the wheels are locked up, you can't just, you know, roll it away real easy. So just one more thing, but it would be a nice option. But yeah, if I was going down a hill, well, that's the last thing is, when I get rid of all the extra weight, I don't need trailer brakes nearly as much because I don't have as much weight to deal with. So, yeah, anyway, I think that's it. But definitely take advantage of all the stuff I've learned so far. Yeah, anyway, starting to cool off. It's nice now. Hopefully tomorrow is sunnier and less muggy and doesn't rain tonight. Shouldn't. I think we're okay. Fingers crossed. Alright, as always, thanks for all your support and watching the videos, and welcome to new subscribers, and shout out to anybody I've met in the last few days. And it's a big world. Get out there and explore it. It's kind of fun out here. Alright, bye for now. And the last update, I did 60 miles today, so that's not bad. I was out of the campsite by 9 o'clock. I had to fix a few tires, then I hit the hardware store, and then I took a few minutes to slime one of the tires before I even left town, because it was one I had just put on, but it was still looking like a slow leak, so I slimed it, and it seems like it's holding now, which that seems like a good strategy, really. Even if you get a slow leak, eventually the slime will find the leak and it'll plug it up, so you don't have to keep messing with it. So that seems like a good way to go, because some of the leaks I'm seeing are so small that they don't really blow bubbles when I'm checking them. So I got a tube that doesn't seem to hold air, but I can't find the leak. So if I use it, go ahead and put some slime in, and that'll take care of it. So I'd gone for quite a while without putting slime in, and then I lost my slime. I had a tube of slime, and I have no idea where it is. Or maybe it's snuck out of the trailer somewhere. So, and I am just swarming with bugs right now. Hope they go away soon. Anyway, so yeah, I haven't had a flat tire on the bike for a couple of days now, so that's a nice surprise. And and I replaced a bearing on the trailer again, so hopefully that'll settle things down a little bit. Anyway, one thing or another. Anyway, yeah, 60 miles today. All right, edit, upload, make camp, go to bed.